Okay, I hope we're recording.
Yeah, me too. We don't have an issue like we did last time, yesterday. Good afternoon, love.
Hello. So we're here to
Yeah.
kick off our brand new podcast.
Yes. Spiritual highways. Get ready. Are
Are
you ready for
We
this?
don't know where we're going.
Yeah, that's right. We're on the highway, it could go.
We're winging
either.
it. We're
That's
winging
right.
it.
That's right. We'll take it wherever the highway will lead us. So, I am Leanne.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are two women and from very different walks of life, but we are definitely united. We are a united front for sure. So we welcome you to our podcast, and we invite you to see where this is headed, because it's definitely going to be a fun adventure, and we hope you'll stick around.
Yes, please.
Yep.
So our goal, I think, is just to figure out ways that we can fill our cup, fill your cup.
Yep.
And help people find the blessings in their day.
Yep.
And grow and
yep.
Navigate.
We'll either fill it with holy water, tequila,
Baileys.
Yeah, Baileys.
Little wine.
Right, little wine here and there.
Depends on the day, what we're feeling.
Right, we may have a tequila Tuesday, and
but on a Friday.
Yeah, but on a Friday. But it just doesn't rhyme with that. We'll have to find
find something else.
Yeah, frozen something on Friday. But yeah, we hope that you'll come and check back with us every day and see what happens. But just to kind of tell you a little bit about who we are individually, I'm going to let Michelle go first.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Here we go.
Okay, so little background for me. Well, I'm a mom and a wife, and I have 4 boys.
Whew.
I know. And
makes me tired.
I'm tired just saying it.
Yeah.
But they're wonderful. And so I started, I guess, 2000. I started working for a woman, Mary Jo McCabe, and she's an intuitive, and she gets messages from loved ones that have passed on and does readings for people. And she did classes and wrote books on helping you find your intuition. And working for her, she told me I was going to be her editor, which edit her books. And I was like, well, I don't really do that. And she's like, yes, you do. So that kind of started me on my path with her, and helped me really rediscover my connection to God, and what a blessing that was. I don't even think she realizes what a blessing she was for me personally. And just watching her help people was a blessing as well. And since then, I've always been searching for ways to see God daily, in every moment. And I do hair. I'm behind the chair, and I get to talk to people every day and learn from them. And that's where I'm at.
Oh, but she's so much more than that. Okay, this woman also ran a TV station.
Well, not kind of.
Oh, well, okay, you did. And started her own publishing company.
No, it wasn't mine. It was for Mary Jo.
But she started it from the ground up. And not to mention, she just has a way with words that can put you at ease, and offers the most wonderful sound advice that just is definitely heaven sent on a normal basis. So she's so much more than what she's just laid out,
lady.
For sure.
Thank
you. Don't get too used to all this buttering you up. But no, I'm just kidding. No, she is an amazing, amazing woman who has definitely changed my life for sure. So I guess I'll take my turn.
Yes.
I am the kind of spazzo version of Michelle. I'm unique, I should say.
You are very special.
I'm a unique person. I have 2 beautiful children who are Gracie, who is 16, and Colin, that's 11. I am definitely making a huge transition in my life right now, which I'm going to just leave. I'm going to let you slowly figure out who I am. And it'll be more fun that way, and I won't scare you away pretty much.
Stop it, I'm sure.
But I'm an artist. I do that for a living. That's how I pay my few bills that I have. Um, and I love it. But I also can communicate with those that have passed on, similar to Mary Jo. That too, I'm sure that we'll touch back on quite a bit throughout this podcast. And
You've blessed a lot of people with that.
oh, absolutely, that's one of my biggest blessings. It's something that was not easily accepted, but I know that when God has a plan for you, whether you're ready for it or not, you're gonna eventually accept it. So I did, and it's changed my life, and I am beyond blessed to be exactly where I am today. And my goal is just to help impact and change as many people's lives and help as many people as I possibly can while I'm still kicking. So, yep. So, in any way that I can,
No, that's
shape
great.
or form.
Still kicking. I love it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So that's kind of what we're here for. We hope that it's going to be we don't hope it will be a fun place to go and talk about things that you talk about with your girlfriend, or maybe
Right.
that you wouldn't. I think that's what Michelle.
Yeah, sometimes you don't talk about things with your girlfriends. Like, I think we have our circle of friends. Like, you have your mom friends, and you have your sports mom friends, or your dance mom friends, and your high school friends, and your work friends. And sometimes you don't touch base with the deep stuff, and so maybe that's where we can fit in. And even if we're not talking um, with you exactly, we're talking hoping that maybe you get something that might help you in your day or with a situation you're dealing with, because I think we all kind of deal with some of the same issues. They might look a little differently or have different players or situations, but we're kind of all in this together.
Yep.
And so we have to kind of help each other
navigate
it, and
maybe give you a different perspective,
right, and maybe give you permission to breathe a little.
Yeah,
because the other day when we were talking and you said supposed to,
yeah,
that stuck with me so much, because we are so guided on supposed to. Well, I'm supposed to do this, or I'm supposed to do that. And why? Because if it's causing you stress and killing you, like, no, stop it. Like,
right.
your body is, if your body is fighting against supposed to, then maybe supposed to is not the way to go always.
Well, Lord knows I'm the poster child for that statement right there, because I went from I've always done exactly what I was, quote unquote, supposed to do. And I followed the little chart, perfectly. I was raised with Ozzie and Harriet as parents. And I'm
You
very
had your
blessed for that.
checklist, and
Oh, yes.
yeah, your parents are awesome.
Oh, yes. They are definitely like, match made in heaven for sure. And I'm very blessed for that. But I've always fit into the little box, and nobody stepped out of the box so that no one was uncomfortable. And so I guess over the past couple of years, well,
you've been tearing that box down.
Yeah, my box, I've always been one to kind of kick at the box, but yeah, I've definitely busted through a few of those boxes. So I hope that I can kind of inspire others to break that mold of what you're supposed to do versus what you're not supposed to do, and inspire you to do that.
Right.
Because I think that's very important. And it's those little things that we do that we don't even realize impact other people. Like, you watch somebody else's life and their habits, and it's something that they do and it comes natural to them, right? But then you're looking at them and you're like, you're picking up on some of the cues that never would have made sense to you before. I don't know if that made sense, but somebody else's way of living or their routines are so different than others. by watching them, it inspires you to be different.
Right.
Like,
Well, it gives you a visual of what it could look like. Because I think
exactly.
sometimes we need, like, because normal is what normal is to us.
Right.
So what we saw is what we emulate, or, you know, so, sometimes you need to see it to emulate it.
Right.
And if you open yourself up and kind of experience or let yourself see
Yeah.
things,
What that picture looks
right?
like.
And I think sometimes, like, I like being behind the chair doing hair, because I get to talk to so many people and hear how they handle things or perceive things, and it kind of the things that I'm like, oh, I love the way she handled this, and like I tuck it away for later because I liked the way that she saw it, and I liked the way that she handled it, and so it helps me with my little toolbox of handling things.
And I guess in that situation, you're kind of not in a negative way, but you're forced to sit down and listen openly to somebody's opinion,
right,
whether you technically agree or not.
Right. But I think it helps.
But that's great.
Yeah, I think it helps soften you, because we really all just want the same things. Our core is to, we want the same things. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy. We want our kids to be okay. We want, and so I have a client and I love her, and the big things drain her. Like if something big goes wrong, it drains her. Whereas something big, it calms me. Mm-hmm. Like not calm in a good way, but like I get very focused and go, okay, how are we going to deal with this? Mm-hmm. But then like the little things for her, she was telling me a story, and she had gotten out of her car and it was raining on her, and she had forgotten something and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet you were so aggravated. And she goes, actually, I was laughing. I was in the rain, dancing in the rain. And I'm like, what?
Oh, I love her.
And I love that about her. And I said, the big things don't mess me up, and the little things steal my joy. And you didn't let it steal your joy. And I'm so envious of that. Like, I want that, because in my moments of little things, I let it drain me so quick. It drains me before I even realized it drained me. Yeah.
But you noticed it.
I noticed it now.
Right. But you wouldn't have noticed it
I wouldn't have noticed it had I not listened to her.
Right. And see, and that's those moments that you have to, oh, wait, this is happening. This is really happening for me. I need to be excited about it, not let it get to me.
Right. And she enjoyed. She was like, yeah, it was just rain. It was fine.
Rain, there's something about rain. My sister and I were talking, I know this is kind of off topic, but God, my sister and I were just talking about that not too long ago, about that feeling of rain being on you and how amazing that is. Like just sprinkles, like in the smell of it. Oh.
And I think because
it's so wonderful.
As adults, we forget, like we are thinking, now my clothes are going to be wet, and I'm going to be stuck in the car in wet clothes. And so we get so far ahead of our being in the rain, like our brains are like 30 minutes ahead, that we can't even appreciate the moment of just letting the raindrops hit our face. Oh. Because we've already kickstarted our anxiety beyond the rain.
Absolutely.
And dealing with the aftermath, that we just can't appreciate the rain.
Right.
And that's probably a metaphor for so many things.
Well, and I guess it's true. And I can relate in the sense that when I first started painting, I tried to do realism. And it's something that is very achievable for me, but not so much in the sense that I am a perfectionist. And it would take me forever to do anything because I just kept going back to it and back to it. So I'm like, ugh. So now I do only abstract. But, there's a lot to be said when Bob Ross says, there's only happy accidents. That's true.
I love him too.
It's true. It's true. It's like once you realize that, no, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be what it's supposed to be. It doesn't have to look what it's supposed to look like. Right. It's okay. That was something that was really hard for me to let go. Like these huge mistakes, like something would look beautiful and I would just completely mess it up for whatever reason on accident. And so finally I'm just, you know what?
Maybe it was supposed to look that way.
It was supposed to. Yeah, it was supposed. That's what it was supposed to look like. So, and those ended up being some of my better pieces, is the ones that I was just like, you know what, it is what it is.
Right.
And so that's something that I've been working on a lot, is just kind of going with the flow and letting things happen and
Yeah.
letting those mistakes come across my path, because there's plenty
Well,
of them.
and
Let me pick
letting go of what supposed to looks like.
Yes. That's been a very freeing thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I think we all need to work on that.
Right.
In different aspects. Like,
Right.
I think supposed to comes up literally in every aspect of our lives, and we probably should question supposed to
more often.
Yeah, more often than we do, because then that way, I think sometimes it gives us some breathing room.
Right.
And we stop beating ourselves up for things that we shouldn't. Just like today, you and I are sitting here, we're talking about connecting, and we're so peaceful, and
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you I'm going to walk in the door at home, and one of the kids is going to be doing something, and I'm going to go from rainbows and bunny rabbits to drill sergeant and be like, what? And yelling at my kids.
Well, that's just
so, it's just, yeah.
I love it.
But it's the reality. It's just the reality of life.
That's right.
And so you have to find your blessings where you can.
That's right.
Because then you walk home and walk in the door to reality. But that's also little things stealing my joy that I probably shouldn't do. Well, and that's something I'm going to be working on, because it's something I recognized literally 3 days ago. And I'm like, oh.
But you know what? It's in those moments where you walk in, and because I can totally relate, and you go into this peaceful place, and then you walk in, and it's like, what happened to that? But I think in those moments, it's like, okay, wait. Not allowing those moments to happen when you do have to lose your shit on your kids, but then reeling it back in and saying, okay, this doesn't have to define the rest of my day.
Yes.
It's just.
And I have been known to, even if I lose it, like I'll go back and be like, all right, look.
Oh, yeah.
I'm apologizing for X, Y, and Z.
Right.
What you did there was not okay. How I reacted was probably a little too strong. Mm-hmm. So I apologize. So I do apologize when needed. But I needed a visual of permission to not let the little things, like enjoy the little things, even if they weren't expected. Mm-hmm. And even if it could be frustrating, maybe just roll with it a little.
Yeah.
And I'm so worried about making sure everything fits in its place. And I think that I think we all could do a little bit. You know how when your kids were little, and I had to do this with my boys, I don't know if you had to do this with yours, and if you're leaving somewhere, it was like that transitional heads up, like, okay, 5 minutes, we're leaving.
Oh, no, I never did.
Okay,
that.
I had
because
to do...
I'm just not that ordered. I'm just so fly of the night.
My oldest... Well,
okay, whatever.
Not my oldest, but...
You also have 4.
I have 4. So my oldest is my stepson. So I didn't really raise him. We had him, weekends and summers and holidays. But so my second oldest, who will be 17 this year, and but he was one that needed that transition. He was one that needed that. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes, and then it eliminated meltdowns mm-hmm. when the transition came. So I'm like, just right now as we're sitting here, maybe before I get out of the car at home, I need to go. Okay, in 30 seconds, I'm gonna walk in that door.
That's true.
And I'm going to my piece is going to change. Mm-hmm. My nice little bubble of golden white light is going to evaporate before my eyes. No, just kidding. But I need to maybe give myself transitional. Okay, in 3 minutes, I'm going to be home. In mm-hmm. 2 minutes, I'm going to be home. And mentally prepare myself to walk in the door, because then maybe the little things might not steal.
That's true.
My joy.
That's
true.
Maybe
we could... I don't know. Maybe yeah. I need to practice.
Yeah,
you might not.
I'm at the point.
You're more laid back than me.
Oh yeah, like almost to a fault.
Nah, I know. Like we are so 180 degrees.
We really are total opposites. But it's taken me a while. I had gotten pretty uptight, I think, for a while, and I've gotten back to my roots in the sense that, and both of my kids kind of, and and they're older too now. But they just expect for me to just kind of be like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm not saying that I don't lose my cookies, because Lord knows in the morning getting ready, because I'm not so much a morning person, and it's like, okay, come on guys, you should know this routine by now. But and it's funny, the same things I fuss at them out about, or I'm totally guilty. But
Oh, I think
that's
that, yeah.
that's one of
Do
my
you feel
things.
like every day is like Groundhog Day with kids? Like, we just had this conversation yesterday. Why are we having it again
Yeah,
today?
yeah,
Like, they go to sleep and then they lose all the training that we put in the day
right,
before.
right, absolutely, absolutely. But no, I think over the past year or so, we've kind of transitioned where I kind of just go in with a and I tell them, like, when they go to start speaking, I've kind of gotten them in the habit of, like, okay, I'm in this happy land of peace, of zen, and when you step into my vehicle, that is all that needs to exist, and everything else has to go out the window. And I've even taken it so far to where I've made them get back out of the car
Try it again.
and try it again. And they are not happy when this is happening. But I'm like, oh no, you're not bringing this negative energy
No.
into this vehicle. Or one of the favorite things that I have is spray sage. It is amazing. Okay. For those of you who don't know, there's a practice where you take, it's a Native American practice where you take white sage and it's smoke, and you cleanse your house, and it removes all negativity. And it's something that I do very fairly often. However, there's a spray, okay, and
So
that
that's
is
like
the most
it's like a
convenient.
quick on the go.
Oh, it is amazing because you can throw it in the car, and when the kids start acting up, it's like spraying a cat. I'm
Spraying
telling
with
you,
it.
yep, I will turn around and whip that can, the little spray, and they'll start. But you know what? The funniest thing happens. They're
You're
like,
cracking
ah,
up.
mama, they scream at me, but then within 5 minutes, they are chill.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she got me, and it just
I need
makes
a
them
giant
so.
bottle of that. Do you have it in a giant bottle?
No, but we could get. I'm not kidding. It is miraculous.
That's awesome.
It definitely.
I need that for road trips.
Yeah, and you know what else I like to use? This is also a fun one. Is when you look at them, and you say, change that face. Change that. You cannot look at me and not smile when you have somebody looking at you like that. It's impossible.
Hilarious.
So please do not let me build this facade that my life is all rainbows and butterflies and everything's peachy and happy, because
but
Lord
you have
knows
moments. You get perfect moments.
Right.
You get like these little 10-second blocks of this is amazing, and then
And so I'm just trying to build those moments. And you know what? I can honestly say that I'm very happy with how many moments I've had like that, but I've also had to let a lot go.
Yeah.
Like, let a lot go. And both of my kids, I think, know that their mom is. Gracie told me that the other day, that, Mom, you're just not normal. And I'm like, really? She goes, no, you're just not. You're not normal. You're not like everybody else's mom. And I was like, oh, I'm glad it took you 16 years to come to that realization, that I'm, but I think we're all different. But what's awesome is, and I'm very grateful, is that both of them embrace that, and they're okay with that,
That's awesome.
My goal, like I told her, my goal is just to make sure that you guys grow up and be as well-rounded and wonderful as possible, and not feel like you have to be somebody that you're not. Right. That's my goal. And that's just a good thing. Who you are. Which is, something we should talk about too, is that, and this is probably going to be a topic for another day, but, it's allowing your kids to be who they are, even if they're not what you thought they'd be. Because I guarantee you, my parents never ever thought that their daughter would talk to dead people or do some of the things that I've done in my lifetime.
That's not on the kindergarten when I grow up.
But no, it was never. That wasn't a choice.
That wasn't one that you were offered.
Not at all. So it's allowing them to be who they are and not crush those dreams. If you want to grow up and build Legos on the side of the road and, go for it. Whatever. Stack cans up and make a sculpture. I don't care. Whatever you got to do. Just don't expect for me to support you the whole time.
Yes,
and I'm good.
I will love your roadside Legos, but I'm not paying your bills.
Exactly. So
I'm sorry,
So-
my laughing is so
Oh
loud.
no, as if.
Um,
But
but yeah, I think that's important to let kids
be who they are.
be who they are, but just don't be jerks. Like that's what I tell my kid. Like my job is to make sure you grow up to be a decent human being.
Right.
Like I don't care what you do for your livelihood or whatever, but just please don't be a jerk. You need to be a human being that other human beings
Right.
enjoy being around.
Be kind.
Yeah, be kind.
Have a
Like,
good heart.
and that's a really a core. And when you said earlier that I don't even remember what you said. I'm terrible with memory. I don't remember things. I'm so glad you remember things.
I don't know.
But I know. But when you say, "Oh, we talked about this and we talked about," I'm like, "We did," and then like I'll think about it for a couple hours. I'm like, "Oh yeah, we did talk about that." Like
Yeah.
it takes me a while to remember what I talk about. But
that's because you were in it. You were.
I just
feeling it.
where am I going with this? I don't know.
The kids. We were talking about the kids and them and being who they are and just being kind.
Oh.
Just be. It's that's a rare thing nowadays. Is just being kind. And it's. I don't even want to say that. I want to retract that statement if I can.
But I find individually that kids are very kind. We were out in public,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a new little puppy with us. She's adorable. But the kids that came up, they were like, "May I pet your dog? Thank you for letting me pet your dog."
That's great.
And it was so sweet. I think we're in an age of social media,
Mm-hmm.
and you get that little group mentality, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon. That things
Right.
can go sideways.
Right.
And fortunately for us, we didn't grow up in that time period. But if we just all take a moment to have that talk with our kids about not getting caught up
Right.
in the group messaging.
But I think that goes hand in hand with be who you are.
Right.
And you know what? You don't have to.
And it's okay. It's okay.
You don't have to be what people say you're supposed to be.
Right.
Again, you can be whoever you want to be. Just be confident. Whoever that person is, do it without and unapologetically.
Right.
Like just be that person
And be kind.
Yep.
Be kind in it. Whoever you are, just be kind.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. Because you never know who's watching. And
No.
they're paying attention.
And
they really are.
And you sometimes you can be an example for someone and you don't even know it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's where I was going with it. But in the very beginning is that you don't have any idea how much of an impact or inspiration you are upon the little bitty things that you do and you take for granted, every single day. And that you are that example that says, "Oh wait, I can do this."
Right.
Like it is possible, people, for you to be in a room with a box and a computer making a podcast
While sitting on the floor.
While sitting on the floor in your PJs.
Yes, I am in my PJs.
That's possible. So let us inspire you. Let us motivate you. Let us be that thing that you want to just, let out your frustration or let out your, fill up your cup with joy. Either way.
Because it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. And so let us fill up your cup and take you down our highway, wherever it may lead.
Yeah, we're not sure where we're going, but it's going to be fun.
Yep. It'll be worth the ride for sure. So, well, good. I would say till next time.
Till next time.
Beep beep.